Otherwise, I will take you further. As I was telling, outcome-based education was the last topic we were discussing. In continuation of that, say for instance, in commerce and management programs, we are offering degrees like BCom, BBA, MCom, MBA, and with the different nomenclatures for marketing, HR, things like that. Whatever the degree that we give, ultimately, after completing that course, the graduate of that course has certain qualities that makes him different from others. NEP also describes something called graduate attribute. Graduate attribute means a graduate of a particular program must possess some unique features that makes him different from others. Say for instance, a BSc graduate, a BA graduate, a BCom graduate must be easily distinguished based on his domain knowledge, expertise, and total style of living, being, thinking, etc. There comes the question of outcome-based education. Here, say for instance, the graduate attributes listed under NEP says, every graduate must have a deep knowledge of subject in the program he or she has successfully completed. First, we must keep in mind the present day programs are going to be multidisciplinary. There will be subjects like core subjects, open electives, skill enhancement, ability enhancement, things like that. Despite of all, we must come out with a program that makes the graduate to have deep knowledge of the subject that in which he is going to be awarded a degree. Followed by that, he should have the capacity to engage in self-reflection and lifelong learning. Let it be any discipline for that matter, the knowledge acquisition or knowledge acquiring process will not stop after the course is over. There will be new things coming and new methods of doing the same thing may be invented. A student should develop that attitude. Transferable skills suitable for employment. Somebody asked the question at the end, what does it outcome means? Is it getting a job? Yes. The skills or the knowledge one has acquired during the course of study must be transferable to employment. It must help him to get his livelihood. Let it be in terms of an independent profession or getting a job somewhere. Followed by that, it should enhance the capacity to take up social and civic responsibilities relating to the environment and the society. A science graduate, an arts graduate, or a commerce graduate must develop civic and followed by that, deep understanding of and respect of diversity, plurality of the society in which we are living. Respect for the respect for cultures and adherence to the highest standard of ethical behavior. A graduate should have a total personality that makes him to be qualified to be called as a graduate. These are all the things that are expected in any graduate. Same is the case with commerce and management graduates. If you just look at the present day youngsters who are coming to colleges and universities for study, whom we call the latest generation as the I'm sorry, Generation Z. A very recently conducted study concludes that this generation is entrepreneurial in nature and wants to chart out its own future, and goes on to point out that they are confident self-starters. They believe in entrepreneurship. The best approach, as 42% of the surveyed youngsters expect to work on themselves. 72% would prefer to design their own college courses and major altogether. They seek hands-on experience and practical skills. Sorry. 79% wants colleges to integrate work experience with coursework in order to give them a leg up in the workplace. 64% are concerned about being able to get a job. This is a general summary I am presenting before you. Worldwide, the youth expect courses that makes them to get a job, courses that help them to be self-starters of entrepreneurs, entrepreneurial tasks. Therefore, any business graduate, let it be BCom, BBA, MCom, MBA, etc., we must keep that in mind. On the one side, they look for a job. On the other side, they want to be entrepreneurs. They want to set up their own business independently. To make them able to do this, what are all the type of subjects and what are the emphasis that we must make in our courses? That is going to be the topic for consideration by the teachers concerned with preparing future businessmen, engineer, entrepreneurs, etc. For that purpose, I have taken a topic like understanding the business trends. If you know the trends, you can think of introducing such subjects. The business trend today is that business and technology are fused into one system. We are in a technology-based business. We cannot restrict ourselves from using the latest technology. Wherever you go, people speak in terms of application of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has become the buzzword for all types of activities in business. People try to connect it with artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, robotic technology, etc. Hence, it is better to have a compulsory component, an element of technology-related subjects in our course structures. Based on this, new business models have been innovated. Joint ventures, collaborations, and corporate venture alliances have become common. That means today's youngsters are expected to work in multinational corporations, different cultures, multicultural, multinational environment is going to be the normal one for everybody who is going to get into business in any capacity. And another thing is knowledge management and networking of result-oriented knowledge. That has become the order of the day. And we must prepare our youngsters to think on these lines. I'm sorry. And one more thing that we have noted is consumer sovereignty and customer-centered business has become the order of the day. Reaching out to customers anywhere and everywhere, every time will become the mantra of the business today. And we must prepare our graduates with that type of mindset. Let it be a management graduate or a commerce graduate, they should imbibe these qualities in their personality. Followed by this, you will be knowing the moment you use the word business, it is going to be universal because it is going to be global today. Sorry. The global business environment has changed a lot. What are the changes that have happened in business today? I'm not going to elaborate. If you have any questions, you can pose it at any point of time. First one is geopolitical realignments, global and violent extremism, new resource slump, severe global climate change, need for all-rounders to perform, emergence of ICT, virtual and unmanned systems, increase in cyber insecurity, new power and leadership styles are emerging, use of artificial intelligence in everything and everywhere. As a result, the nature of the job and nature of the task that our graduates are going to do are going to be influenced by this. This must be kept in mind when we prepare our graduates. It should start in the classroom itself to develop a global perspective in their thinking abilities. And our aim today must be to prepare global leaders. We are preparing graduates not for the domestic market, because wherever you go, there are multinational companies and the jobs are more in terms of joint ventures, collaborations, multinational corporations, etc. Our youngsters are expected to work as the corporate citizens in the global atmosphere. As such, there is a need to develop global leadership among our graduates. What is that global leadership? The need is to develop socially and environmentally responsible individuals, students and executives and leaders. Leadership and the awareness of individual responsibility are the key areas in creating sustainable business that survive and grow in the global environment. For this purpose, we need to emphasize in our course content and teaching pedagogy. When we teach, it is necessary to think beyond the boundaries and make them to develop an ability to relate themselves with the happenings across the globe. As a result, we need to inculcate qualities like social awareness. Most of the students want to be genius and who claim to be very high-scoring, intelligent, etc., they may not be having proper awareness about the society in which they are living. We must ensure that students will develop keen interest in the happenings of the society. Ultimately, man is a social being, and his success and failure are influenced by the society where he or she is living. Therefore, in order to make them to be successful, we must make them to develop a sort of awareness about the society where they are living. Hence, in the course content, there must be emphasis, there must be elaboration about the happenings in the society. And we must prepare them to develop the skill of adaptability to different situations. This is another thing. This calls for not only the technical skills, the life skills, what we call the soft skills. There must be proper emphasis on the soft skills of students that can make them to be comfortable in changing critical situations anywhere. And followed by that, we must, you'll be knowing, needless to elaborate, education is not just training the mind. It is to make them to think critically. To make students to think critically, we have to create case studies, exercises, illustrations, where there is scope for thinking differently, thinking out of the box, thinking originally. Such a content and instances must be quoted. And altogether, we have to make them effective decision makers. Commerce and management courses invariably are connected with decision making as a skill, because there is a saying, if the doctors practice medicine, lawyers practice law, what the commerce and management people practice? commerce and management people practice nothing but decision making. Decision making is the profession. How to make effective decisions. That should be the emphasis in our course content. We must make them to think and come out with concrete suggestions and solutions for problems of the real world. And management is nothing but solving the problem. For solving the problem, we need to exercise. NEP concentrates on skill development and practical orientation of the subjects, wherein you can make the students to involve themselves, analyzing, studying the live problems in the society, come out with solutions for that. And the evaluation is, there is a lot of emphasis on the continuous assessment of the student based on his or her engagement in terms of projects, in terms of internship, problem solving exercises, things like that. That could make the student to become effective decision maker. And later on, as a leader, they must be able to guide others. Guiding quality will come from their own capacity to think beyond others. Creativity, which makes them to imagine things well in advance before the others could see it, will make them to occupy the leadership roles and problem solving positions in the industry. In that way, we need to prepare them. For that, there is an emphasis in the NEP. It encompasses both theoretical and conceptual knowledge with specialization under different discipline area. It has facilitated for constructing the course structure, facilitates interdisciplinary knowledge through theory and practicals. Language and skill enhancement courses will help students to develop effective communication and self-employment prospects. There is a provision for that. Don't say that, was it not there earlier? Earlier was also there. Now the focus is more. Now we are emphasizing, while devising the syllabus, give proper weightage for these issues. Don't make it too much of theoretical, lecture-oriented content. Let there be hands-on experience. Let there be case studies, role play, problem-solving exercises, so that students will learn to address the life-related problems, real-life situation problems. That is what the emphasis. As a result, NEP has devised the course content in such a way that multidisciplinary flexible learning system for improved outcome learning based on the National Higher Education Quality Framework. The National Higher Education Quality Framework is devised on the basis of the National Skill Development Framework. This National Skill Development Framework gives certain considerations. Accordingly, the scheme of evaluation, awarding degree has been made. These are the new things introduced, like academic bank of credit, multiple exit and entry, lifelong learning are the focused issues. And you may be knowing, NEP provides for multiple exit and multiple entries. See here, this is the arrangement made under NEP for multiple exit and entry. Semester program, first 2 semesters. If a student completes the first year by passing 2 semesters, he can take an exit. That will be called a certificate program. Commerce, certificate in commerce, certificate in management, something like that. Followed by that, if he completes the 4 semesters and the second year, he will be given a UG diploma. And the third one is, third year, if he completes 6 semesters, he will be given a bachelor's degree. And the fourth year, completing 8 semesters will make him to get a bachelor's degree with honors. And the next 8th semester will make him to, 7th and 8th semesters will make him to get a master's degree. An honors degree, and a 1 year's master degree or a 2 years master degree with eligibility of 3 years bachelor degree is the proposed scheme of entry and exit. And here a student can exit at the end of any year. Once in first year, second year, third year, he can take an exit. Even in the fourth year, he can take an exit. And whenever he feels to get back by using the ABC, Academic Bank of Credit pattern, he can surrender the credits and join the program once again and take up his studies. Therefore, here, an element of research orientation is being introduced in the undergraduate program. At the end of the third year, where he is completing the bachelor degree, he may be able to take up a project or an internship on his own. And the fourth year mainly focuses on research related issues. At the fourth year level only, he will be prepared to undertake research on his own. Hence, any graduate who completes the fourth year's honors degree can seek direct admission to PhD program. That PhD program, which was either to open to only master degree holders, is made possible for a graduate of 4 years with honors degree to take a direct admission to this course. Therefore, at least in the second and the third undergraduate degree program level, we must prepare the student to think beyond the classroom environment and to think in terms of the practical problems of the industry, business, society at large, so that they develop a sort of inquiring attitude, research bent of mind to take up projects, to write articles, to come out with comments on the policies, on the existing type of business, technology, etc. That will develop a sort of research orientation in the minds of the students that helps them to take up the research after completing the fourth year's honors degree. For all these things, we must keep in mind, ultimately, what do we expect from a commerce and a management graduate, let it be an undergraduate degree or a postgraduate degree? We want them to become policy makers, decision makers. Most of the decisions that they are supposed to make may be concerned with, if they become an employee, no matter whatever intelligence that they have, they will work according to the guidance of the employer. If they want to become independent decision makers, policy makers, most of the decisions may be concerned with starting up of new ventures. In order to prepare the graduates to become entrepreneurs, there must be emphasis on opportunity for setting up of startups, government policies and the schemes available to make a startup, skills required to make a startup, ability to analyze the market. Hence, you must have seen in most of the programs, we have introduced business analytics. Business analytics, artificial intelligence as one of the most prominent subject in the BCom, BBA, MCom and MBA courses to encourage startup ventures by the graduates. New product development ideas. Product innovation is another important decision that they have to make. For that purpose, there must be scope in whatever the subject that you teach in commerce and management to encourage students to come out with new products, new designs, creativity. Let there be debates, discussions, seminars on new thinking, innovative thinking, followed by that handling competitors. This is again a challenging task. In no business we can expect absolute monopoly. Wherever you go, there will be competition unless You concentrate on constant improvement, constant changes in the quality and the features of the product, no survival. To survive in the competitive market, what new things can be added, what new features can be included into our strategies, that must be emphasized. To make them to have all this knowledge, we need to instill originality, creativity, competitive spirit, problem solving ability in the minds of the students. Changing rules and regulations about the mergers and acquisitions must be taught to them. Along with that, preparedness to change. This is the most inevitable thing that we must keep in mind. Unless they are mentally prepared to change, they will not accept all these things. Therefore, to change the mindset of the people, whatever the methods that are needed, that must be introduced into the course content and the curriculum to make them match with the changing circumstances. In a country like India, I am sure it is not that easy to make it possible to reach everybody. NEP aims at saying that nobody must be left behind. Everybody must be given an opportunity, and inclusive growth, inclusive approach in everything, including academics, is the thrust area. And NEP also concentrates on quality higher education for everybody. That can happen only when we prepare well in advance. The higher education institutions prepare well in advance and make it to reach them. We can make it to reach them only when we visualize the type of challenges that may come in. The biggest challenge that the business world encountered is about the digital disruption. You can understand what is this digital disruption and how does it affect. You will be knowing digitization has become an essential part of our life. Industrial Revolution 4.0 also speaks about that. But whatever the technology that we have learned, that will not remain for a long time. Technology will change soon. An existing technology will be replaced by a new one. As a result, the present technology that we are using will become totally redundant, outdated. That is what called disruption. When it got disrupted, we need to make new investment. We need to learn afresh. Totally a new thing must be kept in use. Therefore, the boom in social media and rapid growth of digital technology has completely changed the rule of game for companies and business schools. Business schools, business school means the colleges, the universities, the specialized institutions like IIMs and IITs. They need to think in terms of introducing new methodology of teaching, learning that is relevant at that point of time. And I am nobody to say that this is the only method through which you can teach. But innovative teaching must be introduced. Teachers need to be little innovative to reach out to the students, make them think, make them come out with their hidden talent so that something new will be developed and used. Therefore, this is the biggest challenge, digital disruption that the business and the teaching fraternity is experiencing. Say for instance, many a time, practicing industrialists will say, you the academicians don't know what we expect. Where to know that what the industry expects from us? What type of skills are required for the present students to be employed? How to make them more marketable? Do you have any answer for these questions that are raised? Anybody can speak. Say for instance, Every student who joined the courses expects to be employed somewhere profitably, gainfully. How to help our students to get gainful employment? Because these days, both the students and the parents, at the time of admission itself, they will ask, is there any scope for this course? When they ask the question scope, what does it mean? In other words, job opportunity. In other words, vacant jobs with high salary. But today that's a dream. Nobody can assure. No college or institution can promise 100% placement. But placement is the big question, and this question needs to be answered. How it can be done? Unless the student rises to that level, unless the faculty, the course content, teaching methodology, connectivity. Institutions need to get connected with the industry. Participation by the industry. This is one more challenge, I tell you. Unless the industry participate in academics, we cannot prepare appropriate paragon for the jobs in the industry. To prepare the students to match the expectations, we must have practicing managers in our teaching assignments must be given to them, and we must have their participation in framing the syllabus in the board of studies. We must have them. That is possible only when they come forward to participate in the academic institutions. And even the teachers, instead of totally depending on the bookish knowledge that I and you have acquired through our rigorous study, we need to get out of that for some time, open our eyes and ears to the happening around us, get acquainted with the developments that are happening in the industry in terms of product innovation, marketing changes, changes in the rules and regulations, changes in the taste and fashion of the society. Then only we can come and teach back to our students in the classroom. Unless we experience the reality, we cannot describe that properly. This is what the trend one, the digital disruption makes people to think differently. Problem solving skills are the most essential skills that we need to inculcate among our students. To think critically and solve the problem is another big challenge. Wherever there are people, there will be problems, and problems may be of different dimensions. Maybe technical problem, financial problem, human relation related problems. These problems are to be sorted out by our youngsters. For that purpose, we need to create such an ambience. Mock debates, mock interviews, discussions, by giving real problems to be solved by the students as assignments, as small projects need to be practiced hereafter to make them critically involved in learning the new skills of problem solving. Followed by that, experiential learning. Learning by lectures is not everything. We need to practice. There must be emphasis on practicing anything that we do. Most of us don't have that facility. We don't have the scope for doing this in our colleges and the university. But this is the high time we need to devise a system that can help us to come out with suggestions to our management, suggestions to our administration to introduce this experiential learning pattern in the commerce and management programs. As I was telling, management and commerce students are expected to be most creative and practical people when compared to any others, because These are the issues concerned with life. The life related skills, what we call the life skills, need to be developed among our students to make them to become entrepreneurs. The moment you say you should become an entrepreneur, people will become critical, because becoming an entrepreneur is not everybody's cup of tea. Everybody likes to get a job of fixed salary or assured income. But to become entrepreneur, one must be innovative, risk-taking. One must think differently. For that, you need to tell them success stories of great entrepreneurs. Success stories. On the other day, I was listening to somebody. What is a success story? Is it only about making money? Is it only about accumulating wealth? There comes the question of ethics, morality, social concern. This will make an overall development of the student. For overall development of the students, the intention of NEP is to make them to select some open elective courses from unrelated field. Say, for instance, literature. If somebody is interested in literature, a deep involvement in literature will 100% make an impact on the personality development of an individual. Literature is the best way to make people to think, people to imagine, predict. Therefore, we can encourage our students to get involved in writing review on novels, write-ups, article writing, role play, problem solving. All these things can put them into action. Along with that, small projects, internships. But believe me, I'm practical. It's not that easy to do that. It is easier than done. It calls for preparation. It calls for the involvement of both the management, administration, and the government concerned. Unless that is done, simply we cannot make our teaching experiential learning without preparations. Therefore, make the management programs, commerce programs more experiential. When you teach banking, let them have an insight into the banking activities. Take them to the banks. Make a trip to the nearby bank. Talk to the customer. These days, everybody talks about digital banking. How effective it is. What are the shortcomings of this digital banking? Insurance. Stock market. Forget about the stock market. Nearby mandi. Many students may not have seen the nearby markets. Vegetable market, for that matter. We always all think in high terms by forgetting the reality. There is a difference between the reality and the high sounding words. It is the down to earth thinking that makes people to be viable for solving life problems, competent to solve the life problem. For that purpose, I want to say that instead of making learning only listening, let there be some doing also. Let there be some doing also. And again, changing value systems calls for different approaches to inculcate values in the student's mindset. It's a debatable topic. You can influence the young minds through different ways. To do that, whatever we expect from them to be, that we should model. Always there is a saying, you be the change that you want. Business educators can inspire future innovation by turning the focus on those people who are making significant contribution to the society. Social innovations are to be encouraged. Social innovations, see, any problem that has a social connectivity will be more accepted, more appreciated. Even our commerce management issues can be connected to social issues in our own surrounding. Encourage them to take up one of the issues that is relevant for business and then relate it to our course of study. Say, for instance, students who are studying insurance, students who are studying accounting can connect it with the nearby business communities, small business, small vendors, retail houses. They can relate all these issues, and based on that, they can think in terms of addressing a social problem. Addressing a social problem. Ultimately, we must make the students to feel that I have a role to play in the society. Though I am a commerce graduate, I have a role to play. I have something to solve in this society. Such a thinking will help students to become more interested, and the market is becoming very wide today. There's a saying, unemployment is not real. Unemployment is there because of the inability of the people to match with the job. About 40% of the jobs are vacant because of the non-availability of the skilled manpower. We should encourage our students to identify the job potentials in the emerging markets and acquire such skills. Say for instance, it is not sufficient only to concentrate on the course content that we have designed in our curriculum. Along with that, they should learn and acquire the latest skill. Say for instance, any BCom or BBA graduate with Excel knowledge of software, Excel software, can get a job easily. Tally, SPSS will make them more competent to work. ERP will encourage them to get a lot of opportunities. So that it is the technology that strengthens anybody's employability. That will be possible only when we look at the expanding markets. Multinational companies are coming in, opportunities are there. People can also go abroad. Lot of opportunities for skilled people are there because of this globalization. And needless to elaborate on this, you will be knowing the 10 top skills required for the present day business world, and the most prominent ones are the problem solving skills, self-management skills, working with people, technology, use and development of technology. These are the most prominent skills that are needed, and such skills must be part of our programs. This is what I wanted to say. Such skills must be the part of our program. Along with this, as management teachers and as heads of the institutions, we have a problem. We have challenges in academics. What are they? The basic thing that we need to answer. These are all little philosophical, idealistic questions that I have raised based on my understanding. See here, as a teacher, you have to establish a trade-off between two extreme ends. Whom to keep in mind? Shall we keep the student in mind? Shall we treat the student as the customer or the employer as the customer? It is inevitable, whether you like it or not. We are preparing students to occupy positions in the industry and business. And our customers are not necessarily the students who are sitting in front of us in the classroom. It is their potential employers. Their potential employers expect certain things from them. If that is with them, they will get employment easily. Therefore, the conventional way of, I'm sorry to say this, education was for knowledge enhancement, knowledge enrichment. But today, the same must accompany with employability. Any knowledge which does not give food, any knowledge that does not help earning livelihood has no meaning today. We are living in such a commercialized world. Therefore, we need to think in terms of what the employers think. We must have tie-up with companies. We must go for introducing courses, special topics on which practicing managers from the industry and the business can teach better than us. First, we must accept, as teachers and academicians, we don't know everything that's happening in the industry. Because as academicians, we are concentrating more on to deliver what we know. Unless we open up ourselves to identify what is new in the industry, we cannot reach out to them. For this purpose, we need to develop a tie-up with the industry through any possible means. Let it be through an MOU, let it be through our own personal connections, etc. Identify the customer, because customer is the king. Followed by that, there is a controversy between unpopular core potential sustained need versus short-term requirements. You may ask me a question, are you preparing people to do a job instead of making them a learned person, a knowledgeable person? We should keep in mind the short-term goals, medium-term goals, and the long-term goals as teachers. Immediately, what is expected at the end of the course, when the student comes out with a certificate, what he should possess. We should plan for that. That calls for a deep involvement and devising the course content in that manner. Followed by that, knowledge versus immediate employment, employability versus ranks. These are all the issues that need to be addressed appropriately, and we must keep in mind both, not one at the cost of the other, but we must balance. That is the challenge. That is the challenge. Hands-on experience versus experience sharing. If you share what you have learned, what you know, what you have done, people will not respect. Make them to feel it. Put them into action. How to write a check, how to purchase a DD, how to take an appointment with an industry, how to convince a customer not willing to buy a product to buy. These are all the things that you can make the students to experience by creating such an ambience. And wherever it is possible, we should get out of the conventional way of thinking. If there is scope for a student to learn more, or at the same time, if there is an opportunity to earn also, we must encourage them to do that. Earn while you learn is another option that we can give to our students. That will make the students to enjoy learning also. Therefore, NEP and the commerce and management courses, to make it practical, there are n number of challenges. Before I take up the questions, I will first tell you, it is easy to say all these things. First of all, many people are of the opinion there is nothing new in it, but something modified, something altered has been introduced. First, we must win the hearts of the people. We must convince them to accept these changes, and we must proceed with developing a course content that matches the expectations of preparing a holistic personality of management and business graduates. For that, the first and the most important challenge is developing a support system. One person cannot do that without the help of the system, the management, government, society at large. Restructuring the programs overnight is not possible. If anybody claims that we did first, we did second, there's no meaning in that. It should be a process. It should be a well thought of systematic process wherein programs are to be devised to make overall development along with emphasis on the core discipline. A commerce graduate, a management graduate must be competent in the core area, plus, as we have already discussed, open elective or additional subjects in support of that. Something must make him specialist, and at the same time, something must make him holistic. Followed by that, management of admission and choice of courses is another challenge. It's an administrative challenge. Many universities and colleges are critical about NEP and think negatively because of these problems. Many of them are true to their arguments. They may not have the facilities. First, we have to create the facility and then make them to adapt. But if you give time for thinking, people always comes with excuses. Instead, it has already imposed on many states. We are preparing for that. We must work on that. We must make it practical. Uncertainty with regard to intake of students and faculty allotment. Yes, in the beginning stages, there will be problems of workload. When NEP was introduced in Karnataka, the first question commerce and management students came out is there a loss of workload for our teachers? That such problems, practical questions must be answered properly without losing any workload, without causing any deficit of subjects from commerce and management. We must devise the course, and the courses have been designed like that in Karnataka. It's not a problem. And sometimes there is increase in workload because students from other streams like science, commerce, science, arts are opting for commerce and management courses as open elective, and hence there is an increase in workload, and it has compensated the number of papers reduced from commerce stream itself. Or biggest problem that many people claim is about the documentation, preparation of timetable, valuation and announcement of marks related to assignment, attendance, conduct of examination. These are the issues that many academicians are telling. Along with that, placement for projects, internship is another big issue. We are willing to learn from the industry. The industry must also equally interested and open up for giving opportunity for our students and teachers to visit their premises, discuss with their managers, business people, and to come out with practical case studies. When practical case studies are introduced, then only we can think of making this type of courses more lively and interesting. That is possible only when both the teachers and the students open up for the changes. Change is inevitable. We can't say no for that. Whatever the subject that I am teaching comfortably, the new thing makes me to give it up and force me to take up something new. We must be mentally prepared to accept the change. That acceptance will help us to face the challenges in the true spirit. Therefore, NEP has already been introduced. No going back. Commerce and management programs are the flagship programs of our universities and colleges everywhere. I take the liberty to say that more than 55% of the students enrolled belongs to this stream, and they are the ones who are going to determine the fate of industry and business, which influences the economy and the social system. Unless we open up ourselves and we devise a course content that suits the challenges of the future, it becomes meaningless and a futile exercise to prepare graduates without employment. Graduates without employment or the educated youth without productive and gainful engagement will become a burden for any country. To avoid that, we need to think effectively, intelligently, proper course content and the teaching methodology to suit the present day challenges in commerce and management education. I made a general attempt to tell you about all this. Now we have another 10-15 minutes to complete. If you have any queries, comments, criticism, you are welcome.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Please.
Sir, I think NEP to be more effective, there is a need of organizing workshops at frequent or at regular intervals for both students and teaching community. And I think it will help. It is going to help in boosting the confidence level and in possessing certain skills. And at the same time, there is a need of cooperation from government side as well as from education institutions also, sir.
Exactly, no doubt, no doubt. This is also one such attempt. This refresher course on NEP related concept is also one such attempt, and the government has been doing that. In Karnataka, continuous seminars have been organized through the Karnataka Higher Education Council. It's an ongoing process, and it is not possible to expect the change overnight. First, we must create a positive wave. Positive wave. People should think in favor of this. When they start thinking about it, adaptability will become easy. First, introduce, create awareness. Don't expect expertise overnight. First, make them aware, explain them why it is inevitable. When something becomes inevitable, people will definitely learn it. So that I appreciate seminars, conferences, workshops need to be organized, and the teacher who teaches the subject must be given an opportunity to frame the syllabus. And the teachers who are teaching the subject must be given an opportunity to get exposure outside, interact with the industry. That makes the program effective. Any more questions? You are welcome.
Sir, this is Gautam from Assam. Sir, can you say like that one of the motto of NEP is something like that, earn while you learn? Can you say like this, sir? No doubt there are some other objectives as well, but one of the objectives so far, little bit my understanding, can you say like that, earn while you learn?
It is also to encourage people to do so. But our
Yes, sir.
existing regulations, the moment you say full-time students, you cannot take up jobs anywhere. You cannot,
Okay, sir.
you cannot get employed anywhere, right? Now,
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
popularizing distance and online mode of education also.
Yeah.
Nowadays, our online programs are becoming very popular because at the time of learning also you can earn. And
Yes, sir.
believe me, the conventional type of offline courses are not going to be there for all the time. It is going to
Yes,
be
sir.
a hybrid form of education. NEP expects at least 40% of the course, minimum 40% of the courses can be online. When there is online teaching and learning, students can earn online also. These days there are different avenues. Okay. Therefore, it is
Yes,
to
sir.
empower the student to become independent and learn. Gradually, rules may become little liberal, and to encourage the students, we may promote online programs. That will happen.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anything more?
Sir,
Please.
hello.
Please.
Right.
Hello, hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Can I
Hello,
proceed,
I
sir?
am Shushankar. Hello, sir. I am Shushankar, sir.
Shankar, please speak.
Sir, is there any industry collaboration with NEP and all that for the future prospects for the students community, sir?
That is what NEP expects. NEP expects
Yes, sir.
collaboration with industry, business houses. You come out of your universities, meet the entrepreneurs, get into MOUs, involve
Yes, sir.
entrepreneurs and industrialists in your board of studies, take their help, organize special talks. That is what the intention of NEP.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir.
Sir, this is Murali Shankar.
Please, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, does this NEP introduced in any other state or only in Karnataka, sir?
Many states are making preparation, but we are the first one.
Okay. So far, it's not introduced in any other states. Okay. Thank you.
Sir, this is Dr. Mohan, sir.
So please.
Sir, it's rather than the questions, it is an observation, and most of the things I've learned from your demonstration, sir.
Please.
Whatever you said, we have been practicing. I would like to say, whatever you said, we have been practicing. We are very happy to tell that we have been practicing that too in the government first grade college, especially in the name of NEP. Whatever we want to do, we can use it as a brand and goodwill. Definitely we can add and we can modify the structure what you said, sir. Earlier people used to restrict because in the syllabus it is not there, you are not supposed to do. But with the help of the NEP, we are encouraged to do that. Even from the university and also from the department, we are encouraging all the tactics and the strategies which we are able to reach to the students, sir. Like the way we have organized business fest, industrial visit, shandy visit, institutional visit. We have been taking the students to different practitioners to bridge the gap between theory and practical, sir. Thank you very much for the enlightened speech, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is a positive sign. It can be practiced.
Yes, sir.
There is a popular saying, energy follows intentions. If your intentions are positive, you will get the energy and the means. As Dr. Mohan said, being a government college, if they have organized so many things, it's an encouragement. It's in the right path to reach the objectives of NEP. Thank you. Congrats.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Any more comments? I made a general attempt to club both commerce and management education and NEP. If there are any specific questions, you can pose.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Is there any obstacles for implementing NEP in rural-based institutions, sir?
For rural based,
because we are working in a rural-based institution, sir.
I can understand the practical problems in the rural area, but when the mandate has come from the government to do that, if not 100%, absolutely, to whatever best level you can do with the available resources and the infrastructure, with the support of the nearby institutions, that you could do. You can do that. Overnight, we cannot expect you to do everything, but make small attempts. Rome was not built overnight, right? You can make an attempt. That attempt will take you further. Therefore, my opinion is that if you are intended, not necessary to study only the corporate problems. Problems of the farmers can be taken as a practical issue. Mohan said about visiting a sandy. Problems of the vendors in the sandy can be an issue for analysis. Problems of agricultural producers marketing can be taken as an issue. Only thing, in their surrounding, how best they can contribute, how best can they act as the problem solvers. That's the intention, sir. Problems are everywhere. Depending on the situation, you make your people to apply their mind instead of remembering and reproducing in the examination. Make it practical. Let them use their knowledge for solving a problem. That's what the intention. Any more?
Good evening, Anand sir.
Please, please.
I'm Suresh from Tumkur University.
Yes, Dr. Suresh.
Yeah, we have been experiencing this, pattern of NEP in Karnataka. Of course, it's doing well. And I personally feel that there are some kind of, improvements can also be added to the existing system. And say in particular, we have a skill enhancement courses. Mainly, the students can be having a good amount of employability only based upon the skill. And the skill components which already been included in the present system is hardly one subject in each and every semester when it comes to UG programs are concerned. And maybe if the same kind of a component could have been enhanced a little further, and so that the students will be benefited by learning more number of skills.
Yes.
Say, for example, in the first semester, they'll learn only digital fluency. And after that, they'll forget about the total digital fluency. So there is a kind of a de-link between semester to semester. So, what I would, emphasize, especially for commerce and management, when it comes to NEP is many of our commerce and management graduates are failed to acquire good number of skills in the core areas. It could be accounting, for example, either the Tally or maybe the SAP or Oracle and so on. And those are pursuing in case of a finance, maybe as far as the trading activities, it comes to online and so on. So these kind of a skill component needs to be involved, especially for the commerce and management students, so that the employability rate will increase.
Yes.
What is your take on this, sir?
I do appreciate your views. And more than anything, this syllabi is for revision continuously. There is scope for upgrading the syllabus contents. As and when it is required, we can upgrade this. Your suggestions will be well taken. And at the appropriate time, we will try to incorporate at the structure given by the State Higher Education Council.
Yes.
That we will do. Thank you for the input.
Thank you.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
First of all, I would like to thank for opening our eyes with regards to NAP. Sir, after completing the 1 year of core course, we will be granted as a certificate course.
Certificate course.
But based on the particular certificate, what kind of industry can give employment to the students?
Yes, this is a very pertinent question. This 1 year course, say for instance, National Skill Qualifying Framework is there. National Skill Qualifying Framework prescribes certain essential qualification for different types of jobs. Say for instance, a student after completing +2, we call it second PUC, 12th standard. If he joins a commerce program and completes 2 semesters and leave the course at the end of the second year, what type of job is fit for doing? He is fit for doing what type of job? Say for instance, assume that a graduate can become a middle-level officer in an establishment. If a graduate can become a middle-level officer in an establishment, a graduate, an incompleted student of graduation who has studied up to 2 years, 1 year, must be able to be an assistant in the office. Here, to become a salesman, to become a sales officer, to become a sales manager, there is a difference. Say for instance, if a person who completes 1 year's program must be at least able to get the job of a salesman in the marketing field, a computer data entry operator in the computer field. A basic knowledge-based job must be given to him. For that purpose, starting from first year, we try to equate that 1 year completion to level 5 of the skill framework fixed by the corporation. National Skill Qualifying Corporation is there. They fix up the qualification for different jobs. 5th level is equal to first year, then followed by that the 6th level, 7th level, 8th and the 9th level when he reaches the 4 years program. First one is makes him to become just an ordinary salesman, just a data entry operator, just a travel agent, a tourist. Followed by that, when he climbs the ladder from 5th level to 6, 7, 8, he must be given to think, knowledge to make him to think independently, policy making, decision making, things like that. But the problem here is, do we have such jobs in the environment outside? Even I have my own apprehension. The society must be prepared for that. The economy must be prepared for that. Only when 100% equity between education and life will happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But we have taken attempts to match the skills. Say for instance, if a BSc student lives in first year, what type of jobs? A BA student of economics lives in the first year, what type of job? Basic level. But the reality is different. Jobs and the type of education
Yes, sir.
jobs are not matched in our system. If that becomes true, this becomes effective. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Any more? Okay. I think in one go, it is not possible to clear all the doubts. If you come out with few more confusions, doubts, I think if there are more doubts, more confusions, I think my lecture is effective. And you can find answer for these questions in the days to come through other sessions. I think this is the time for me to stop it here. Even I have too many other commitments kept in queue. Thank you for your patience, listening, and participation. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Sir, it's an opportunity to give a vote of thanks, sir, as instructed by our Nanjan Swami, sir.
Thank you.
Dr. Nanjan Swami.